Could we ever live on Mars? For centuries, humans have looked up at the night sky and wondered, could we ever really live on Mars? Could this cold, dusty, red planet become our second home? Today, we're diving deep into that question, exploring everything from space travel challenges to terraforming, survival strategies, and what life on Mars could actually look like. Buckle up because we're about to blast off. The journey to Mars. How do we even get there? Before we talk about living on Mars, let's talk about getting there first. On average, Mars is about 140 million miles from Earth. Even with our fastest spacecraft, it would take around 6 to 9 months to reach the red planet. That means astronauts would be trapped in a tiny spaceship, exposed to radiation, zero gravity, and the joy of drinking recycled urine for months. Fun times, right? Oh, and speaking of zero gravity, prolonged exposure weakens bones and muscles. Mars has only 38% of Earth's gravity, which means astronauts might struggle to walk normally once they arrive. So, unless we figure out artificial gravity, we might end up looking like wobbly baby deer on day one. The harsh reality of Mars, it wants to kill you. So, let's say we survive the journey. What's waiting for us on Mars? Mars is basically space Australia. Everything there is trying to kill you. The atmosphere is 96% carbon dioxide, meaning if you step outside without a spacesuit, you're dead in seconds. And if that's not enough, temperatures can drop to minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 62 degrees Celsius, at night. So yeah, not exactly vacation weather. And let's not forget the storms. Mars experiences massive dust storms that can last for weeks, covering the entire planet in a blinding red haze. Good luck trying to charge your solar panels during that. How would we survive? Building a Martian colony. Okay, let's assume we survive the landing without crashing into a crater. Where do we live? Right now, there are a few ideas: underground habitats, domed cities, or even inflatable space bases. Scientists are also looking into using Martian regolith, a fancy term for Mars dirt, to 3D print buildings. Imagine building your house with actual Mars dust. Talk about local materials. But we can't just sit inside all day. We need food. Growing crops on Mars is a huge challenge because the soil is toxic. So, unless we turn into potato farmers like Matt Damon in The Martian, we'll need hydroponic farms and greenhouses to grow food. Who's ready for a lifetime of space salad? The air problem. Can we breathe on Mars? Oxygen is kind of important, right? Well, Mars isn't exactly generous with it. But NASA has a trick up its sleeve, MOXIE, a device that pulls oxygen from Mars's CO2-rich atmosphere. Think of it like a cosmic air filter, but way cooler. If we can scale this up, we might be able to make enough oxygen for entire colonies. Still, every breath on Mars is a technological challenge. If life support systems fail, you don't have a few minutes to fix them, you have seconds. No pressure, right? Water on Mars. Can we stay hydrated? Good news, Mars has water. Bad news, most of it is locked away as ice beneath the surface. But if we can extract and purify it, that means we could have drinking water, agriculture, and even rocket fuel, because water can be split into hydrogen and oxygen. Finding and melting ice might be our best bet for survival. The terraforming question: can we make Mars more Earth-like? Now let's talk about the sci-fi dream, terraforming Mars. Could we actually make the red planet more Earth-like? Theories include releasing greenhouse gases to warm the atmosphere, setting up giant space mirrors to reflect sunlight, or even nuking the poles. Yes, this is a real idea. But let's be honest, this would take centuries, and right now, we can barely control Earth's climate. So, maybe let's master that first. The psychological and social challenges. Can we stay sane? Space might look exciting, but living on Mars? That's another story. Imagine being stuck in a tiny habitat with the same people for years. No fresh air, no blue skies, no pizza delivery. Tragic. The psychological toll would be massive. Even astronauts on the International Space Station experience space fatigue. And that's just a few months. Mars would require an entirely new level of mental resilience. One solution? Virtual reality. Scientists are already working on VR simulations to help astronauts feel like they're outside, even when they're not. But at the end of the day, there's no escaping the fact that Mars is lonely. Until we have regular trips back to Earth, once you go, you might not come back. The future of Mars colonization, who will go first? So, who is actually going to Mars? NASA, SpaceX, China, and even private companies are racing to put humans on the red planet. SpaceX's Starship could be our best bet, aiming to send humans there within the next decade. But let's be real, early Mars settlers won't be sipping martinis on a space terrace. They'll be pioneers, fighting for survival every single day. It's going to take a special kind of person to make Mars home. Could we ever truly call Mars home? So, could we ever really live on Mars? The answer is maybe. The technology is within reach, but the reality is tough. Mars isn't going to roll out a welcome mat. We'll have to fight for every breath, every meal, and every drop of water. But if we do succeed, we won't just be living on another planet. We'll be taking humanity's first steps toward becoming an interplanetary species. And that's worth the challenge. Thanks for joining me on this journey to Mars. If you loved this deep dive into the future of space exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let me know in the comments, would you move to Mars if given the chance? Until next time, stay curious.